Joining us live is Chris Griffith. He's the technology reporter at The Australian. Chris, pretty impressive numbers being thrown around for this deal.
Absolutely, it's a huge deal. And it ticks a lot of boxes for Microsoft. I mean, in the more tangible gaming space, Xbox for a lot of years really struggled against PlayStation, Sony Playstation. Of more recent times, they've been doing better, and this, of course, gives them a big lift up because to have proprietary games like Call of Duty and all the others by Activision Blizzard will be a huge shot in the arm for Microsoft. They've been on this path for a while. They've acquired companies like Bethesda and Mojang, which makes Minecraft Maker. But it just gives them a huge edge in an area where they'll become like the third biggest player with, and it's an industry that just in 3 years we think will be worth, or it's estimated to be worth, $256 billion. So that's massive. But you've got this other side of it, which in the long run can be even more massive, and that's around the metaverse. Now, I don't know about you, Ash, but I still stagger a bit at the metaverse because it's a fairly abstract concept. It's around virtual reality, and some describe it as like where Second Life meets virtual reality, and the kind of next phase of the World Wide Web, where we're immersed in these worlds, and there's a huge economy around it. But it's still pretty abstract. People have different ideas of what it is, but the big companies are sinking in billions of dollars to become dominant in it. Facebook's announced Meta, and we've got others like Epic Games, and you mentioned Tencent before, and now Microsoft. So they will gain from Activision Blizzard not just games, but all the graphics know-how and 3D know-how to build more compelling virtual experiences in the metaverse. So they get a lot out of it. And Microsoft are well placed because not only in gaming have they got console, mobile and PC gaming, they're a big player in the cloud, and the cloud's going to be a really important factor in the metaverse as well.
So, Chris, are you expecting the regulators will be keeping a pretty close eye on this? As I saw you wrote in The Australian today, there is this argument that Microsoft's already big enough and shouldn't be getting any bigger.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Antitrust is a big issue for Microsoft, Facebook, Google. You know, companies become so big that they basically strangle the rest of the market, the creativity around it, and basically just get enormous amounts of money because of their monopoly. And some people say, hey, Microsoft is such an enormous player anyway. It's probably just not a good idea that it can expand with more takeovers. And it's going to take a bit of resolve by the US because they've talked for a long time about what they call antitrust. We call it monopolies here in Australia, but they have this term antitrust. And there's a lot of antitrust lawsuits. The regulators and Congress have been looking at it, but it's going to take a lot of guts, I suppose, to use just a four-letter word, to actually go down that line. So I don't know how far they're prepared to do that, but certainly I've seen commentary out of the US already suggesting that maybe the antitrust regulators need to take a good look at this. And some estimates, some are saying that because of that, this deal's only got like a 60% chance of going through. But it's hard to know, and so far we haven't seen the regulators take such a fierce stand as that.
Chris Griffith, always appreciate you joining us with updates as to what's going on in the tech space. Thanks so much.
And thank you again. All the best.